Okay, we have to take a peek. How's the guy doing? Whoa! That man just fly up? Can I see that? You're a grown man. I just made the most stereotypical Hypixel housing parkour I could think of. This is basically what a deep learning AI would come up with after playing through a few hundred parkour houses. I tried to simulate that. So let's go through it together. First, let me imagine myself as a newcomer to this house. I am interested in playing some parkour. Let's check the leaderboards. Wow, either this parkour is really short or there's just some very talented speedrunner. Of course! What could the other alternative be when the person who holds all 10 records is the housing owner? If you have these impossibly short leaderboards records, for whatever reason, maybe the records were achieved when the house was 20 rooms long, but then you upgraded to 200 rooms, whatever it is, please remove these unfair records. A lot of people who join parkour houses are mainly there for the challenge of getting on the leaderboards. So if you don't want people to come to your house just to do this, then please use this nifty little function to remove illegitimate records. Thank you. Let's actually see some parkour action. Most houses start off very nice and simple, and that's enjoyable. It lends itself well to speedrunning. But fella, don't waste your effort and energy designing jumps and pathways just to let the players skip a whole bunch of it. Make sure you're blocking off unintended shortcuts. But oh no, what's this? A 5-block jump? Going up by a slab? No man, it's not possible. What could you possibly be thinking, house owner? Oh god, oh man. But wait, don't let them know. There's a ladder behind the jump. Fooled you all, didn't I? No. You think the people coming to your house were born yesterday? Maybe. It is Hypixel after all. But this kind of tomfoolery, where you have an impossible jump with a ladder behind it, it's used in every house ever. Everyone already knows this trick. You're not fooling anyone. You expect people to be looking like this, trying to figure out how to close the impossible gap? Not really. Oh no, not again! No one can jump up 1.5 blocks. That's impossible. You can only jump 1 block high in Minecraft. No. Oh, but looky here. There was a cobble wall under all this carpet. What did you think it was for? So I could warm your feet? So I could suck on your toes? This is the exact same stuff as the last room. Everyone has already seen this trick of the hidden cobble wall or fence under the carpet. And after they're using this parkour model's texture pack, oopsies, busted. And now we come to the squeezing jump. Jam your head into the wall over and over until you finally squeeze into the very tight cap. Maybe lose a couple dozen pounds, you'll be thin enough to do it with ease. Or you can just find the right coordinates and do it in one shot. Now I talked about this in my original housing parkour video in 2017. It's not a great jump because all you have to do to succeed is adhere to the right set of coordinates, look straight, and jump. There's no skill involved in that. It's just a matter of if you know the proper efficient setup or not. You don't really have to judge the distance and play the classic balancing act of don't jump too early, don't jump too late, which is where most parkour skill is derived. This is actually why I disagree with my old video, in which I said that to not have a proper defined setup for certain difficult jumps is to have a poorly designed parkour house. To this, I say that the 2017 Happy Heart is actually brain dead. There is more skill involved in having to find the right setup through your own judgment and process of elimination than to just pull the setup out of the parkour manual and follow the steps. And away we go! I guess a lot of people did listen to that old 2017 video of mine, because all parkour houses nowadays are like 50% neos, 50% other jumps. And people go crazy with their neos. They're using all sorts of obscure block types to make them. Anvils, fence gates, iron doors, enchanting tables, chests. But I can't lie, it's quite cool because people use these blocks to very slowly increase the difficulty of each of the neos as the parkour goes on. A double neo, and to make it just slightly harder, add a trapdoor to the end. Glad as I am that Hypixel's parkour housing owners are fully exploring all types of neos, the world of parkour is not restricted to just neos. Please investigate other jump types, about ladders, about glass panes, about anything interesting that's not just neos. Lots of jumps that aren't neos can get very unique and cool to look at. Oh, here's something, just randomly unmarked barriers where I think the jump would be possible. I see things like this in some houses and it is baffling. I don't know why the barriers are there in the first place. Maybe the housing owner is just trying to trick the player. If they're completely unmarked, if there's no sign saying take the left side of the jump, then you're just frustrating your players. And as we enter floor 2, what do we have here? A blip up. A cool mechanic discovered only as recently as March 2018-ish, I think. You basically stub your toe on something that's on a slightly higher height than the floor around you, and that somehow gives you a height boost. I guess one person from the parkour community made a parkour house with a blip up, and then the entire Hypixel housing community went, write that down! Because multiple blip ups are thrown into like every big housing parkour I come across now. But please, if you're going to put this in your house, put like a link to a video tutorial on how to do it on a sign or something. Even very skilled parkourists who have been out of the scene for a while and maybe haven't heard or learned about the blip up, like me, will have no idea how to do this in spite of their skill. For the great majority of Minecraft parkour's existence, no one knew about this mechanic at all, yet it existed all the same. Don't expect people to just randomly discover it on their own. Looky here, more Neos, because no other parkour jump exists apparently. Gonna say it again, I see too many Neos nowadays. Maybe it's just me, and I'm old, and I like to complain, but let's see a little more variety, fellas. I'll show you some interesting jumps that aren't Neos later, that you can use in your houses. Goodness gracious, a life or death section basically. If I fail this jump, it's all over. I have to restart from who knows where. I hate it. Never mind. I've only seen this funny little trick of a fake barrier floor in only a few houses, and I thought it was quite clever. But as more people figure this out, it's going to get more and more overused, I assume, and then it'll become as old and cliche as the fence under the carpet trick, or the ladder behind the impossible jump trick. Let us abandon these overused tropes. Parkour tropes. That's something to think about. Okay, if you put a maze in your parkour house, you are never going to reproduce. I will make sure of it. A maze is not parkour. It's not. This is why there are separate tags for mazes and parkour. If you have a maze and you do this, oh, I think I found the exit. If you do that, if you put that in your maze, 3 men in suits and sunglasses will show up in your driveway at 9 PM tonight. Don't do this sort of stuff. It's considered unethical in some countries. And we finally arrive at the classic, the final jump, which has to be climactic and super difficult apparently. That's very often the triple Neo, or the cobble wall Neo. Don't do a cobble wall Neo, it's really hard and I hate it. There's a few more housing parkour tropes that I haven't mentioned just because they aren't really funny enough to put in the video. People love having mirror parkour, for instance, and instead of rooms nowadays, like in my house, it's more of these long hallways, and always Z-facing, which makes Neos more fun in my opinion, and it makes me think housing owners now understand the difference between X and Z-facing. You know, overall, I do think housing parkour is a lot better quality nowadays. It seems to be harder on average, and I like that. It means the Hypixel parkour community is becoming more skilled and is more aware of the full world of Minecraft parkour. I think that's cool. The housing owners or builders are often much more aware of little things, like not letting you skip big sections of the parkour as I mentioned earlier. They give you momentum to complete jumps where it's necessary. They understand that a 3-block ceiling really impinges on how far you can jump. I think they understand the difference between X and Z facing most of the time. I talked about stuff like this in my last housing parkour video, but I really see the meta of parkour houses has truly evolved, and that's wonderful to see. Let's keep it evolving. Instead of staying stuck with our Neos and ladders behind impossible jumps, we're sick of those now. So like I said, I'm going to go over some coolio jumps that are original, unique, and interesting. Put these in your house instead of endless Neos. Trapdoor usage in general, I'd appreciate a lot. Having walls on the sides of your starting and or landing blocks is another thing I like. Trapdoors also make this a bigger challenge. It can get more difficult by small degrees as you see. Change this fence to a cobble wall. It's still possible but very difficult and akin to the squeezing jump I was talking about earlier, but this time, any proper or efficient setup that might exist is much less obvious and much less widely known, which is good, in my opinion. Now check out this weird ladder jump that originated in Japanese parkour. It's not even really a jump, because you don't jump, but the challenge is that if you make it hard enough, you can't just start at the top and slide to the next ladder. You have to start a little underneath, then kind of curve your way up and off onto the next one. I have not seen this yet in any parkour house, but I would like to. Here's a similar variant. I'm not going to go through every single unique jump that I'd like to see in parkour houses because then people could just take all the examples, put them in their houses, which would influence other housing owners who will end up overusing these jumps to death. No! I want to see you guys come up with your own unique and original jumps, because I think that's a great fun part of parkour is to come up with jumps that people haven't used or thought of or created before. That way, every parkour house can have at least a couple jumps that are totally original and offer something different than every other house out there. I just opened the parkour for public for fun, and this guy just randomly joins while making this video, and he's having a good time with parkour. He's trying to get there. Been at it for a good minute already, where I decided this would make some good content. Nice. You can do it. I believe in you. He's behind me right now going crazy with it. Maybe my eyes are a curse. I'll stand in the corner. I won't disturb him. I'll let him do his parkour in peace. I don't want to give him that added pressure. Let's spy on our fella right here. Oh, is he gonna get tricked by the impossible jump? Damn! Or is he gonna get tripped by the impossible jump? There's no ladder behind it, buddy. You can't jump 1.5 blocks in Minecraft. Oh, he's investigating. Oh god. Whoa! Don't find it, pal. Man, I can't fool him. Jam your head into the wall over and over again. Whoa, let's go, dude. He got it. Now take on the Neos, buddy, old pal, old friend. Go for it. You're struggling. Ooh, very good job. Beautiful curvature. Right into the doors. Not quite. In there. Oh. I'm not struggling with a double door Neo. It's probably the simplest thing I could have given you. A single door Neo. Look out, look here. Honestly. Not okay. You can't take this long, man. I'm really gonna wonder how you complete the single Neo, the butterfly Neo, the blip, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, but as I was gloating about the difficulty of the parkour, he's made it past the double door Neo. Beautiful. Yeah, try jumping. It's a good strategy. I thought I was gonna one-shot that and be impressive, but I'm just so bad. What? He didn't see me watching him there. Oh, does he know how to blip? I think he knows how to blip. But you... Did I just see that? Did I just see that? I don't know if this guy knows I'm here or not. He's certainly not acting like it. Yeah, that'll be close, actually. The idea is that if I don't look at him, he'll cheat. Sorry, man.